Hello, hello, welcome to another ES Futures trading stream. Today is Friday, the last day of this week, the last day before the long weekend. It's an interesting day today. What we have now, we have a weekend. We have a day to close the week with the market in a very interesting situation here. The market has checked the bottom of the range. It's not just the bottom of the range, but it's testing. It is testing or exploring below the bottom of the range. We have just one couple minutes before the opening, and we can see here, we have a nice strong outside day. Outside day, not just outside. And I say it's strong because it's not just an outside day relative to yesterday, but outside relative to this range here. Right? Markets is still one time frame higher in the weekly. It is a 3-month range. We do have a 3-month range in hands. The low, there is some interesting levels here to monitor in the lower side. Being the first one, getting back inside this 3-day range, which the market has done, and the next getting inside this 2-day balance, which is the last balance before we had this breakout, and some kind of like mini or sub levels to monitor as this distribution close. Before that, we have the range of this 5-day range where I was considering here, this being the low, and then down here, and then the gap. All of those were done yesterday, but it looks like long liquidation, even though the magnitude of the break volume is very low. It's low. Now we have a pullback here. It's kind of like really close to settle, right to settle. Nasdaq has a similar situation, but I think overnight inventory, yesterday the market just got too short. Now this is closing the distributions. Well, I will carry this as my reference on the upper side. And we have an inside day opening today. Opening inside day is an advertising for shop. Traders are creatures of habits. Are doing exactly what they did yesterday. Yeah. Same thing. But we have, the situation, the context is quite different today. It's very different situation today. We do have overnight inventory that is long, 100% long, kind of like a short covering here. Markets usually has to deal with, all business fields. What is the current business right now? That's the question. I guess I'm going to call this high as well as a, it's another reference here. It's just curious, right? I mean this low, my original range here. What can be going on here? Are we going to see downside continuation here? Because traders are in the habit of buying dips. But those short-term traders from yesterday that got really excited yesterday. There's no more long inventory here. And now, before the long weekend, I just question who wants to go short, right, over the weekend. Now we got a questionable low here, right to the tick at 5300, questionable high, right at the low of the upper range. And the nuance here to me is this high here, this non-excess high that market now has and was made in the overnight. Now, as I say, it's very, very short-term market here by having which has not changed. There's no change here as a market. Now, on the really low volume here, look at where we are now, really low volume down here as well. Now the opening, this is the lowest in the last 10 days. In Nasdaq, kind of like a similar situation here. All of this, no, the distribution was closed yesterday. Now this okay. Now what you have in the upper side, the closing of the distribution coincides with hardback. All right. So there's something there that can attract these traders here. Really quite, I won't say quite opening, but really thin, very thin. The market is trying to follow the direction of the overnight here. It's getting back inside this range. Bond markets, what's happening with bond market is inside the opening bar here. Remember, Nasdaq, what Nasdaq had yesterday, Nasdaq was bought exactly from one POC. The POC for 517, I believe. Right in between here, the 5300. Now, yesterday, I was favoring a rotational day yesterday after the huge movement Nvidia had. Um, and having a day like yesterday is today, you know, just facing the weekend, facing the long weekend. Um, I never expected it was going to be like something like yesterday. I didn't expect the break we had yesterday. I know the market was super weak. No, it is actually weak yet. Um, but I think inventory just got too short yesterday. Now, what the market is going to do now is going to deal with the overnight long inventory. The overnight high has been taken. Market's still working its way up here. So unbelievable. We have extremely short inventory from yesterday. Now, days like this have the tendency, sorry about that, to attract traders. And why I say that? Because after the big break that the traders have shown yesterday, the traders that were, kind of squeezed out or forced it out a couple days ago, now they are thinking, okay, now I have to go short, right? Now this is an important reference to me now. No one see the ability how um, balance guidelines. I am applying balance guidance here because the market is out of balance, right? Market is out of balance of this range. This is the range I'm talking about. Market has looked below and closed the gap, alright? Close this gap here. It opened way up here with the gap. Yesterday it closed the gap and also closed this one yesterday. Alright, so there's weakness here. Now, but I believe, it is my belief that inventory just got too short yesterday. Now we have long overnight inventory from last night. The market did or tried or make an attempt to counteraction here that this overnight inventory, especially in particular, I was watching that this low is kind of like a right sell-off here. And it looks like, seems like we're going to have a rotation. There's a low chop here right now. Odds are favor up for me. Odds favor some kind of rotation day today. Oh, this level too, you know, which is the previous all-time high. Just notice how many times this level was bought here. It won't be weird that this is sold now. This is resistance. Nasdaq is above that area. This is the previous all-time high. You can see also some back and forth around this area. You have to give more room to Nasdaq. It's not the same as the ES. The ES is more efficient. It's a more efficient market. You don't see too much volatility here. Now you can see this area here. And there's a lot of longs here. We have long inventory, okay? For Nasdaq, we got long inventory. And now, this area here, we have some volume here in this area. Let's open this profile, this high. So we have an action yesterday to the upside, and now we have upside continuation. Right? The action still remains to the upside, unless this low is taking. This is still an upside. This is the second part, right? We have this break. One time frame ends, kind of really mechanical high as well here in that area, and this is, you know, rotation relative to yesterday. Okay, this low. Now I question this low too. It was about right here on that level, right? You know, a strong, a market with conviction to the downside, for example, doesn't buy from here. It just doesn't stop here. And every single level yesterday this market was stopping at. And now, whatever can come from a level like this, it's also it's something I will not trust. You know, now these kind of lows, you know, are the same as good as this one. It's very questionable high. So this market still have I can call it maybe an excuse to come back and check the high. Okay, I don't think we have a high. I was surprised yesterday that all the hype about Nvidia, right? You know, everybody agreed that that's agreed to sell yesterday after Nvidia. But we have said, you know, the circumstances, the facts that were surrounding the circumstances were quite unique, right? This market was super long, extremely weak structure, laggard buying that has been coming. A rally that never seemed as was going to end. And the last, the last of report, the last relevant report of the big tech, particularly the biggest one. I believe Nvidia is the biggest one now, isn't it? And and traders just pile, right? Piling in the short side. It was just unbelievable, right? To see. I couldn't believe what you see yesterday. And days like yesterday are the days you live for, right? Um, but to reach or to get a day like yesterday, this market has to do all of these things, right? I really wasn't interested in this market after it was bought from the 100 here. And this coincided with the end of the cycle, the end cycle of earnings. Apple, all these big techs, Home Depot, Walmart, or whatever, all those reporting, right? And there was nothing here. I wasn't interested. Yes, it was kind of like boring. But you have to be here, because what you got from here and what you have yesterday, is the consequence. It's the result of all of this trade here that happened here. All of this is here. To take advantage of a day like yesterday, you got to understand what was happening. If I just come and see this chart, I can see maybe, okay, you have to see a range here, another range here, all-time high, testing the highs or whatever, right? Very technical trading, I can see that. You can see that, right? Buying from the 100, buying from the 50, range, gap, 1, 2, 3 gaps. The market had in such a short rally here, and fourth, including the one that we have yesterday. It's very elongated, and before that we have 7 gaps here. And don't forget about this. We have 7 gaps here, plus 4 yesterday. That's unbelievable. 10 gaps here. It was just super, the market just couldn't handle that. And there was a situation here that it looked, at one moment in time, it looked like, okay, we are up here, right? So now what, right? It looked like, the market looked like was, and if you can give the market a personality, it was something like that yesterday, or heading into yesterday, right? And just unbelievable, the how long this is, how long inventory got here, super long, with just one stock, nothing. When something happens relative, when a big huge movement is fueled or is triggered by some kind of news, usually the movement can be easily retraced. Sometimes the same day, sometimes even same day. And you can see what happened here, right? Tremendous volatility. The market cleared this high in during the regular trading hours, then the low, and then high, low again during the overnight. It was just unbelievable. It looked like one FOMC day. Now the 5300 has been repaired. Notice, check this out. This is just unbelievable here. Look at the volume we had yesterday. Okay? Just check it out. Right? This is what we have yesterday at the opening. We are almost done with this period. Look at this. We're almost done with this period. And look at the volume we have here. I think right now it's like 50% lower than yesterday. It looks like it's going to be maybe like 40% lower than yesterday. This is just unbelievable, man. This tells me that this was, good also this is just liquidation. But we saw here was liquidation. Because lower prices are not attracting more volume. And zooming in, this is my reference too. This I have another area here and check, which is the 50. Was actually the market was actually sold before that, right? It didn't show too much interest. It get back in. There's no value yesterday. We have trending there. You get back inside this range, but it did not have penetration of this range, and this could have been a good short too. But I just don't believe now I can see anything here right now. Now that the market is heading lower, this could be the potential destination of this trade. Why settle? Because the overnight inventory was bought right on that level. And if this is a counteraction, which volume, is an indication that that can be the case, the market can see Cedar as a potential and as a potential destination here. Now we are around, okay, the 5300 is right there. Just look at that buyer, man. Really fast, right? Really quick. Oh, consumer sentiment. We have consumer sentiment today. Just check it out. Oh, yeah, I forgot about consumer sentiment. Alright, that's the last thing I believe we can have now. How much volume do we have today? I'm curious to see that. %35 lower. 35% lower is just. Oh. Now this market has direction now. What is the direction of this market? You may ask. The intraday is pointing upwards. Hey Claudia. Thank you, but no thank you. I'm not interested in viewers here. The streaming is not my business. Now, you have to contemplate, and think about what are the odds now. We have some sort of maybe short covering today, or some kind of rotation, right? Based on what happened yesterday. Now, and what we are, there's so many things here, right, to check, right? I will remove this, still keeping an eye on settle here. What happened on the overnight, what happened yesterday too, with this action, the trade is just piling here to the downside. And this high, I decided to carry on as a three wide high, this, Still, I don't know if this is going to become relevant today, but I got this in my mind. It is very important that you do your homework too. You do your homework. Yesterday was different. It was quite interesting. Oh no, this is not. I didn't do. I tried to make it as simple as possible, but a little bit more, more than the previous day, right? More than yesterday. But before yesterday, I mean, it was just before yesterday. It was as simple as it can get, right? As it gets. This is what I did. Going, into Thursday. Everything was just unchanged. Nothing changed. But yesterday is different. There's a lot of things that have changed yesterday. Now, we may be seeing here rejection. The market explored above this range, was rejected, and put the opposite side of the range as potential destination. It happened. It was one of those days, and with every single thing, every single guideline that you have was being checked one at a time, right? We have a gap. If the gap is going to fill, usually selling coming right away from the opening. Check. Came back inside this 6-day range. Check. Come back inside previous day range. Check. Get to the opposite side of the range. Check. Then the opposite side of the range. Check. Close the gap. Check everything. It was a day by the book yesterday. But days like yesterday, you don't see those kind of days often. Now, the market has seen this level here. It's aiming to close this distribution here. There's some recovery going on in the bond market too. But the daily in the bond market has reached the lower side of the lower range relative to the upper range. And I have started to read or to listen to this book, Predictable, Irrational. I guess it's where it was written by Dan Ariely, I believe. I know Malcolm Gladwell. It's very interesting book too. Really nice. Now how it gives an idea. It helps us to understand how we humans, how our brains work. How we have tendencies, how we react irrationally. But that irrationality is very predictable. it's, it's a really nice book. I just started. I haven't finished the first chapter. But it's really good. I like it so far. These markets are trading also with an eye in the bond market. The Dow also was killed yesterday. It was just painful to watch. This was an horrendous day as well. After all that hype, right? You got all the hype. Everybody was talking about the Dow. The Dow has reached 40,000. That's a key level. That's a historic level of blah 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 blah. And all that for what? This is just unbelievable here. It really is. Now look at this formation here. It's very teeny, skinny. How skinny this histogram is. But it's not having anything. I mean both sides here. Right? The upper side just dries here. What the heck is going on here? Why you have 4 here? I'm not interested in that. Oh, this is it. It just have nothing to the downside here. What do you think traders are doing today? Nasdaq has closed this distribution. Just check this out. Let's look at this. This kind of trades, you have to you need to understand what kind of trader you are. You will not know what kind of trader you are until you get to know yourself. There's a certain group of people that take this trade here. Reach itself on this level and boom, just like that, right? Let's just don't fall in love with this position here. If it works, fine. If it doesn't, just one tick probably, they're gonna take this trade. Okay, but they were stop at Y, and I will just place their stops one tick above. They were taking out, and then the market just came down, right? That was not. We're taking out, not taking down. My bad. I favor summer rotation today. Remember, that's a bias. You got to be very careful as well with any kind of bias that I may have. This market is trying to check this here, this skinny area here. Very thin market today. There's just nothing here. Let's see if this market can close this distribution here. This low here also is very questionable. Should write a couple ticks from the high this day from closing the gap. Closing a gap also is it's not a good sign here. And particularly this kind of day, right? An outside day to the downside. It's just I cannot forget about this high here. You know, there's nobody here now. After a huge day like yesterday, you know, this is just short-term trading, very short-term trading going on here right now. I'm checking the bond markets now. The bond market explored below yesterday's low. I had something in the bond market yesterday. I thought, I mean, my opinion, not a trade, but an opinion there that it was getting long actually at the close. It was getting long. It was unbelievable how the market can be that low and get long at the lows. It's getting inside this range. There's a lot of chop here. I took a long, right? I took a long when the market could not get inside this area here, this one. But it's just there's so much chop here. I'm going to leave the market alone now. I thought there was something here, right? You can see here, um, trade is just buying the 5300 here. You didn't care about the overnight. That is just following price here. What I don't know if this is something here, but the bonds are looking strong here. I mean, today, if you just look today, if you just come, this is the first time you come to the market, you see the bond market is looking very strong today, all right? Today. When something gets in your mind, it's very dangerous too. You know, I had this idea, this belief that that today can be a rotational day, just I had, just as I had it yesterday. Like since it didn't happen yesterday, so I thought, okay, then it's going to be today. And when that happened, you actually cannot see the market because you are waiting for something, right? That's why I don't have setups too. I don't have setups because in setups you favor a position, but we have you favor a shape or whatever, and you're just waiting for something to happen, waiting, and then suddenly happen or that thing appears and boom, you take your trade. I use more context for my trades. I don't care about setups. You know, there were good odds yesterday. There were good odds. All right, the market has got really long, very long yesterday before the opening, and today the odds are I mean, we have some good odds also that this market might have gotten really short. Just a second, please. Here you can see accumulation. Here you can see accumulation at the center of this range, right? And some volume is started to appear here. Some reds. More here. It seems like this period is going to open right at the highs. All right. It seems like the market is going to reach this potential destination here. Closing this distribution, you know, it's a continuation of yesterday, right? We got yesterday as a market getting too short, potential liquidation only, and this would be kind of like another one sign that just reinforce that belief. All right. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Stay safe. See you tomorrow. Or see you next week. Bye bye.